Hello. It is the eve of opening weekend for the Super Mario Brothers movie. Record-breaking numbers.
Box office smash for the Super Mario
Wow.
Brothers movie.
Yeah, it did so well. It broke all sorts of crazy records, but we're here to tell you what it means inside Nintendo right now as they're probably looking at these numbers shooting up.
Yeah, and if you're wondering who we are and why we're qualified to say what is or isn't happening at Nintendo, we both worked at Nintendo of America from like 2007 to 2022. They've been a part of all sorts of launches, big phenomena all along the lines of the Super Mario Brothers movie. So I think we have a pretty good handle on what the company is and isn't doing.
That's right. That's right. You might be wondering, you might have questions. What does this mean for the future of Nintendo now that the Mario movie is a huge hit? Well, we're here to unravel the mystery for you guys.
Yeah, we have 4 things that Nintendo is not doing, and 3 things we're pretty sure that they are.
Yeah.
Let's start with the thing that they are not doing. And the first thing on our list is they are not fast tracking any upcoming entertainment projects.
Yeah. So, you might be thinking, wow, Nintendo is probably like, we can make a lot of money doing this. Let's drop everything to make that money by, making all sorts of deals with entertainment companies or projects. But they are a very conservative company, and I think that they will not be doing that, and they'll be sticking to whatever plan they have laid out for them, regardless of how much money this movie made.
Yeah, if anything, I think the company might be feeling a little defensive right now. I think they realize that, this is very public, very visible what the movie did. $377 million over the 5-day opening globally. Yeah. I think they realize that everybody is going to be coming out of the woodwork saying, let's make a deal. I'll throw money at you. Please, I want to do this with you. But Nintendo's way is to really, pick the projects that it wants to take on, be very selective, ensure that it has a strong degree of control over it. So they're absolutely not just going to jump on the next big thing or the next big offer that they get.
Very true.
So let's talk about something Nintendo is doing, which is trying to convert the excitement from the Mario movie and the big opening weekend into sales for Nintendo Switch hardware and software.
Yeah, Nintendo's big business thing, and this was a part of it when we were working at Nintendo still, is this approach where they would try to get people into the Nintendo universe any possible way that they can. It doesn't have to be a video game that gets you into the Nintendo universe, and they really struck gold here with the Mario movie. This is such a great way to get people, whether they are not gamers, whether they're young kids, whether they used to play Nintendo games but haven't played in a really long time. It's a great way to get all of these people that may not be playing the Switch every day back or into the Nintendo universe. And now it's the key time for them to take all of those 377 million people that paid for this movie and turn them into lifelong Nintendo Switch players and Nintendo fans. So they are probably putting a lot of effort into doing that. Right now.
Yeah. No matter how much money this movie ends up making, Nintendo will always see itself as a video game company first. And this was the strategy laid out by Satoru Iwata: audience expansion. Yeah. How can we bring more people into the fold of Nintendo, get people to appreciate our great IP? And that's absolutely what's happening here. I can guarantee you the first meeting of the day at Nintendo is, hey, let's get some people excited and buy some Switch hardware and software.
I already saw some great advertisements. It's like the movie, you'll enjoy these games.
You'll love these games.
Yeah. I mean, that's immediately hit my inbox this weekend. So they're doing it, guys.
Right. So the next thing Nintendo is not doing, maybe disappointing to some people, they're not changing the way that they make Mario games. You are notably been requesting Mario the movie the game, but Mario, I don't think it's going to happen.
The game or Riot? No, just kidding. I think this is a total. I like to say this as a joke because I know it's never ever going to happen, and I know this because we've worked there for so long. These properties are so very separate. Like the teams working on the games and the team that's very far removed working on the movies. They are not talking to each other. They probably have already their mind set on what kind of Mario game or what kind of game they're going to be working on for the next long while. So those plans are pretty set, and I don't think the movie has any effect on what that game is going to look like.
Right. They made this partnership with Universal and Illumination because they realized they needed somebody who knew how to make a movie. Well, who knows how to make games? Nintendo. And who knows they know how to make games? That's getting confusing to say. Nintendo. So I think they're saying, well, thank you very much for all this interest and all this money, but we got it from here with the games.
Yeah. You're not involved now.
Yeah, I'll take it from here, guys. Thanks. So the next thing Nintendo is not doing, and again, this might be surprising to people, it's not going to adjust what it does in marketing based on whatever Universal or Illumination did that really did well or helped this movie become such a smash hit.
Yeah, like you were saying before, Nintendo really trusted Universal because they don't have an expertise in how to make and market a movie. Universal, Illumination, they have that expertise. So they really, I think, leaned on Universal and trusted them to do that kind of marketing work for them. And Universal really took things in some crazy directions and you and I worked on the marketing team for a really long time, and some of the stuff that they were doing to promote this movie, we were laughing because they were like, they would never, ever in a million years allow the internal marketing team to do some of the fun things they did to promote this movie. So it was actually kind of hilarious that Universal got all sorts of freedom to promote this movie. So don't expect Jack Black live action music video for Peaches. For every, Nintendo game, you will not have a Jack Black music video. Sorry. Let's come back to earth here on the marketing.
Something else they've been doing with the official movie Twitter account, which was never allowed for us and will never be allowed, is responding directly to fan tweets.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I think Nintendo's saying, wow, you do what you need to do, but again, we're going to do things our way. I think another thing Nintendo is realizing is, hey, where were all these trailers debuted? Nintendo Direct.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in charge of Nintendo Direct? Us. We're doing something good too.
Yeah. They really own their, what they know that they are good at, and they have a lot of data that supports that, what they're doing works. So they're not going to be experimenting or doing anything zany just because of this movie promotion.
All right, back to something Nintendo is doing. Oh my gosh, we got off of our little isn't track here. Shame on me. So Nintendo is probably more seriously evaluating their entertainment opportunities for franchises that go beyond just Mario and Zelda. I think it's very clear to us, very clear to Nintendo. Yeah, Mario and Zelda are the two biggest things that we have. If we're going to get into entertainment, it makes sense for us to do something with those. But I think they have kind of that next rung of IP that they have been taking a wait and see approach. Like, let's see how this Mario movie does before we really put those out there.
Yeah. The next run would be things like Splatoon, like Animal Crossing, maybe even Fire Emblem. Those sort of properties that have, maybe a bit of a niche audience, but still a lot of like legs in terms of entertainment. Like you can make these things into big franchises, either in movies or TV. So I think they're definitely considering this after seeing all the money go into their bank account.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say that not every project they do is going to be an Illumination animated movie.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of different things they can do. A lot of different options. The Illumination partnership sounds like it's going to go on, but there's definitely a lot of other combinations of partners and entertainment types that they can pursue these with. And I mean, frankly, these all have the makings of a hit themselves if they can find the right combinations.
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing Nintendo is not doing, based on the success of this movie, it's not going to be changing its plans for their next console. Sorry to break it to you.
You mean Switch 2 is not going to be Minions
Switch
themed?
U, whatever you want to call it.
Darn. Just kidding. Yeah, of course not. That is, again, that's one of those things where who knows how to make hardware, who knows how to make software. Nintendo knows how to do those things. They are the experts in that field. They know it. They already have their plans way done in advance of this movie and this movie breaking these box office records. So that those plans are solid in place and already in progress. So I don't think this has any effect on those plans at all.
Right. It kind of ties back to that first point we said about them not fast tracking any other entertainment projects. I mean, hey, if they put out the next Switch tomorrow, there'd be a lot of people who would be interested, but that's not part of their plans.
Right.
They think their plan makes sense for them and their games business, so they're going to stick to it no matter what.
Yes. Yes.
All right. The last thing we have to share, it is a Nintendo is doing this, and it is. Nintendo's definitely trying to negotiate more beneficial business terms with their entertainment partners now.
And they have, you know what, they got a leg to stand on now. They have hard data. They have a proof of concept, more than a concept. Now they have, you know, they can say things like, we made a theme park that's making tons of money. We made a movie that's making tons of money, breaking records left and right. So guess what, entertainment partner XYZ, you're going to have to pay us a lot of money to use our IP to be partners with us. So this is awesome for Nintendo. They're going to be raking it in, as they say, and they're going to have a lot of negotiation power when it comes to more entertainment business projects.
Yeah, we both know Nintendo is a really strong negotiator and very firm in what they're trying to achieve, and there are certain things that they will just not give on. And when we saw the Mario movie, I think we were both really surprised at how front and center Nintendo was.
Yeah, it's like Miyamoto and Nintendo,
right.
And it's like they were first in every billing, so it was
right. And in all the credits, it was very equal Illumination and Nintendo people.
Yeah.
So I do think that, you know, they already got, I think, really favorable terms on this movie. But I think they're going to be going back to any partners they're talking to now and say, hey, the game's kind of changed a little bit now. We have some new things that we want to request, and we really need you to do those before we can move forward.
And guess what? Those partners will be happy to do them because they just made $377 million. Right. So if you want a piece of that pie or whatever as a partner, like, I think you would be like doing anything Nintendo wanted you to do right now. So good for them for, like, this is a huge success. This means huge things for their business. So yeah, it's exciting times for Nintendo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's so fascinating to be in that first Monday morning meeting where everybody sits down and says, all right, what do we do now?
And now what? Yeah. We actually did a whole podcast, which we'll link here in the description of this video that you're watching, where we talk about like what Nintendo will do now that they're going to be this huge entertainment juggernaut. And we go into a lot of detail about like how the company is structured, and maybe how the company needs to quickly change how it's structured to like keep up with this crazy momentum. And this was before we had watched the movie and seen these crazy numbers of these record-breaking sales. So more so than ever, I think the pressure is on at Nintendo to like keep it all going and moving forward, and hopefully none of their, you know, priority things fall to the wayside because they're not, you know, staffed correctly for this. But it's going to be a challenge for them, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the company in the next couple of years.
Yeah, things are going to be different there. Part of me realizes it's going to be exciting there, but part of me is also glad that I'm not going to be there for it because I think it will be tumultuous and challenging in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exhausting for the people that are there. I'm very glad that I get to be a nice spectator now and make my little quippy comments and watch a movie 3 times and enjoy my life. So, yes. All right. What do you guys think? Hopefully you've seen this movie, and if you have, tell us if you think it's going to change Nintendo fundamentally. If you disagree, tell us why. If you think Switch 2 Minions themed is coming out tomorrow, tell us. We want to hear it. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.